let's go ahead and start. We'll review a little bit from last time, and then we'll show you how to control our particles within code, and then I'll give you the rest time for two items. One of them is to create your own particle effect, and then the other one is to then go back and change the little asteroids game such that they'll have a particle effect, and then before they're destroyed. Okay. Just particles by themselves. Jonathan, like if you have an object of some sort on there. I say object of some sort because I don't know what actually you can put a particle effect on. You can put it on nothing. You can put it on an entire scene, or you can put it on a game object. Maybe you can put it on anything. So I got dropped the Pink Panther on here. I click Add Component, type Particle. Now when it does that, you'll see Particle System there, so choose that. And you'll see the particles coming off the Pink Panther. Now to begin with, you see there's an option, if you come over here under the inspector, it says Play on Awake. If you have that unchecked, then when you run, try that again, put the right layer on that. That's curious. Oh, Windows right here, I'm blind. Your character's on there, then nothing's happening. This is what you'll want to have set on your asteroids game. You want the meteors set up initially such that they do not play, because you don't want them to play until they're struck with a bullet, right? And then you want your particles to take effect. We've got the shape here we could control. Angle. Renderer has some different options down here. If I choose material down here, you see there's a sprites default, or you could choose this, kind of a star effect. Now if I play this, you see that's what it looked like. Now we'll go ahead and play on Awake, so it's it shows when we run it. Is that good so far? Okay. Now, oops. Let's stop that. Now I got this cloud here. and I put a particle effect on that. Draw mode simple. Let's see if starting size 0.1, then 0.3. Colors, I did that. I don't have it set up to loop. Looping is where it repeats over and over. See if I were to click loop and play, it'll just keep on going. I'll stop that here in a minute because we don't want it to loop. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt. Mission, what did I change here? Rate over time, 10. You can do bursts. There's a video. I'll go ahead and put the video out there so you can watch that if to see these different effects. See, what do we do here? Scale. Oh, the rotation, because the particles were going up. That's why we did that the other day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Size over lifetime. Oh, that's when you have a box pop up like this. What you do is you can click here, and then you can control how your size gets changed, whether it goes from large to small or small to large. Collision. This is where we had it collide. Oh, ground. We had a ground down here. Just basically nothing there, just for collision purposes. So when the water hits it, then it would just stop right there, and then eventually become smaller and disappear. Not that it matters with my window showing like this, because they just disappear anyway. What else did we switch? Texture sheet animation, if you have that selected, and you choose sprites, then you can choose your own image here. And this is what I'll have you do on that first project is build your own image over in paint.net, and then you'll add it in here under the texture sheet animation. Trails, I don't remember what we changed there. A lot of this is just to give it a real special effect. Won't be necessary for the project I'm going to give you. And here, we chose, this Sprites default. So under the material, you choose Sprites default. I also did that in a trail material. I don't think you had to do it in a trail material, did we?
No.
Yeah. I probably just clicked that by accident because I couldn't see it. But the material one here is an important one. Okay. Well, then for this object here, I added some code. So I just came down here, I clicked Add Component, and I chose New Script. And this is very similar to what we did with the when we created a sprite sheet animation, where we started the animation. What you do is you declare a particle system, P, and then you say P is equal to this dot get component and then particle system. This right here will always say the same thing. Only thing that changes your variable name there. This just says whatever particle system was created for that component. That's why I said anything you can drop a particle system on, you can control with this. See how there's a crate empty here? So I got my game object there. If I add the component and choose particle system, see that's out of there is coming these particles. See, I thought the starting colors wouldn't change it. I'm probably remembering incorrect from the other day, though. Maybe I have to actually drop on a texture before we'll do that. Yeah, I do. So you add on a texture first, and then it'll change its colors. So yeah, you can drop it on anything. And Plan Awake, I'll go ahead and shut that off. So right now, we got our Pink Panther going, but this empty isn't doing anything, and this cloud's not doing anything. Well, here I got this, and then I say if input.get key down, key code S, S for start, then you do a p.play. And if you do a key code E, so you push the E, it'll do a stop. So over here, if I did an S for start, see how the rain starts. You'll put this in your collision. So this code you see here will be the exact same code you put in your collision. Now, I have this looping, which is why I won't ever stop. If I do an E for end, it stops it. So really, any particle system you have here, you don't want to keep looping, typically. I suppose if you have something on your screen that you want it to keep doing it over and over, you could. So now if I run it and do my S for start, it'll start raining. And then it actually stops. This is what you would want on your explosion. Because if your meteor explodes, then after a certain period of time, you want it to stop exploding. You don't want it to keep doing it forever. Now, when your meteor explodes, you want to handle it whatever way. Maybe you want little pieces coming off. Maybe you want lightning. I don't know, light. Whatever you want for explosion. If I let me show this over here. If I fill this in with black, do a new layer. So a layer, add new layer. Now draw up with my white. Got that. Now for your background here, now you got that drawn. If you right click on that, or no, you can't right click. I guess if you click it, and then you do layers, delete layer, you get rid of that. And now I want to draw or create a rectangle around it with my rectangular select. Do an edit copy, edit paste in a new image. and do a file save. Now you can store it right in the folder. I'm sitting in my assets folder for this project. And if you put it right here, smiley.png, and click OK, then you'll see it automatically appear here. Or you could just simply import it in. And then importing it in copies it to that folder. So now if I want my empty to work off this, here's my empty. Probably give it a name so I know what in the world it is. So empty game object. Texture sheet animation. Change it from grid to sprites. Choose smiley. Let's set to that. Just to double check. I don't remember those squares on there. Did we have squares on there last time?
No.
That's
There were just two different.
options.
Yeah.
Okay, let me play on Awake. Oh, they're not there in the actual game. See how those come off of our empty? So that's where you could have little pieces come off on your actual game object. Now, in theory, as little pieces come off, the game object should become smaller. But don't worry about that for now. You can change the image associated with a game object, but we haven't looked at that yet. Okay, so if I want my empty to play, if I push some kind of key, you want to take off the play on Awake. Come down here, you add component, choose new script, and start part smile. Double click start that. And then under my update is where I'd put it. Particle system P. P equals see if I can remember it. Particle system, no memory. This dot get component. Okay. So particle system dot get component. This. Let's try to type it in so I remember it better, but not as copy. And then I can say if get input dot get was it get key or get button? Get key down. Key code dot spacebar. Then I'll do p.play. And p.play, uppercase P. Okay, so now if I attach the Unity, go ahead and run this. I'm going to stop attaching that. There we go. Okay, so if we run it, again, S starts the rain, E stops it. And if I do my space bar, then you see that particle system starting. Now, what I want you to do is modify the game you have for the asteroids. Put a particle system on the asteroids so that when they get shot, they have some kind of effect. And go ahead and create the image yourself, or I guess you could find one. That would look good. You can. Also do it on your ship. So when your ship gets destroyed, have some kind of particle effect get started then. Does that make sense what I'm looking for? Okay. So I'll go ahead and stop this recording.